Hi, you guys. This is a good day. It's an auspicious day. Um, Mercury goes out of retrograde today, so communication should improve, the flow of exchange, and all manner of most things get smoothed out a little bit easier. It's my birthday today, so that's exciting. I'm 68, which is a little surreal, but it feels pretty good. It doesn't feel that much different, really. It's the same. I mean, it's not the same me. We evolve a whole lot over time, but there's some kind of continuity, it seems to me, your whole life long, and your whole lives long, if you want to look at it that way. Sorry, I got a bug bite. I was outside trying to get ready for the storm, which has been downgraded, and we're the ones who will get hit the hardest, probably, apart from the Maritimes in Canada. They always seem to get the ass kicking. But I was outside trying to put stuff away on my little piazza. I call it the piazza. It's like a little flat place. And we're a ton of yellow jackets. I mean, I screwed up the other day. It was raining. The compost was, the little thing in the kitchen was overflowing, like moldy. So I just swung it. It was blueberry. It was a carton of blueberries that had gone by. Anyway, a few things that were fruit. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, that's what I did. And so the yellow jackets came for that. And of course, they're all over the place this time of year. Where I live, they're in the wild aster to beat the band. And so it's just a time for caution. I've had nests around. Anyways, so I put on a lot of long sleeve things and went outside and started moving the porch furniture around. And the bee thing, I mean, first off, I can't really hoist a bunch of heavy stuff. So I have to push it end over end, or however I'm gonna, I've devised ways to move it without having to actually lift it off the ground. There's stuff up high I can't reach, so I need help for some of it. I did what I could, the best I could. And the bees and my, the limitations of my strength as a solo individual, I'm very aware of that out there, because otherwise I'll fall down, I'll get stung. It's like I need to be as on top of it as I can. And I realized, consequently, I was kind of moving like Tai Chi. I'd pick up a chair and just, or something lighter, the rake. And as a result, I didn't get stung. I didn't fall down, inshallah, for the future. But the slowing down did something. It slowed down time. It's my birthday. It's the fall. They say it's not fall yet. 22nd, 21st, the solstice. But, we're on the brink of that season. Anyway, I think it's kind of a magical time. And the quote I found this morning is from Su, H-S-U, Chinese philosopher. The space between heaven and earth is like a bellows. It is empty and inexhaustible. It moves and emerges. Use it. It will not wear out. That's my daughter's drawing. I paired it with The Dancer. Often she'd draw it and she'd get to the top of the page And if there wasn't enough room for what she wanted to do, she'd bend it over, like on the cover. Girl on Unicorn, I think is what it's called. And the girl doesn't quite fit, so she bends it over. It's something, it struck me as a wonderful thing when artists play with the frame. Something about that, playing with the frame. But I love the idea of the inexhaustibility of the space between heaven and earth. I mean, I'm figuring it out, just sort of like the way her arms are. I just said that without even knowing. I was kind of doing the same posture between heaven and earth. It's a bellows. That space is what we get to work with. You know, we're between heaven and earth too. Amen. I feel like I'm a pantheist. I just have to kind of out myself. You know, I see God everywhere. Pan was much maligned by the preceding religious system of beliefs. That's devil, you know, that's the goat god. That's Pan, who is actually, you know, the man of the earth. Capricorn. Celebrating nature. Not being exiled from the garden. Being in the garden and also in time. It's something about that. Pantheism. Yay! Go team. Go team. Earth energy, Virgo. The 9 and the 9th month in Virgo season. You in all your glory, in your independence. You know, you don't have to be an earth sign. I mean, you're not necessarily to rock this energy. Not everybody's okay with being alone. And that might not mean living, you know, by yourself, physically alone, although this is earth energy. You know, it relates to the body. Our bodies, the earth's body, the bodies of, I mean, they call them the body of the planet, don't they? Planetary bodies. You know, and this is sort of like we are stardust. And the 9 of Pentacles, individual, is okay with that. To embody. You know, again, that body image. To embody. They're good in their bodies. They care for their bodies. My body is my temple. That idea. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. A fast-moving, passionate, okay. A fast-moving, passionate energy, right? The other one is, I'm sorry, like, ho, ho, ho. 2 of Cups. Okay, they're just going to come right off the bottom. Holy shit. So somebody is coming toward this individual who takes care of themselves, who's good in themselves, who's at home in their bodies, who's created an environment that, you know, is a good place for them to dwell, earth energy, hearth and home. And in comes somebody who's passionate, a fire energy, fast, inspirational life force. Emphasis on passion, but they're coming in with this Two of Cups business. This way. This way. You know, Two of Cups is in the middle between these two characters. Knight of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. And the interesting thing is both are independent. Knight of Wands is not easily reined in. They can be a scattered energy, an immature energy, or they can just be a force to contend with. They're on their way to something, as Knights are. They're not yet a King of Wands, but they're moving as an independent, fire, passionate individual toward this stable, independent individual. Could be a fire sign and an earth sign, or just somebody who's on the move and fiery, and somebody who's at home in themselves and perhaps physically. And this is the bond. It's why this character is rushing in with passion, you know, to meet their Two of Cups person. That's what they feel. That's what they intuit. And here is that individual, not on the move, stable, in place. This is a transient energy, stable energy. There's a link between them. But there's a kind of push-pull to that, where one's fast and moving and the other's, I mean, it's a complementary energy. Tell us about the Two of Cups, the complementary energy. Okay. Okay, there's an extra one. Okay. Okay, here we have the complementary energies again. The wand energy twice over with temperance. And the earth energy, seven of pentacles. And there's this forward movement in sword energy to a calmer place. Three of Wands, you know, somebody's in traditional Rider-Waite, this has a boat image, the boat coming into port, basically. This is like the butterfly, having flown across the sea as migratory butterflies, you know, they fly incredible distances, at least monarchs do. Coming into land. I just love the way tarot works. And Three of Wands, there's the person to receive them. In fire energy. Sagittarius, a fire sign. Not necessarily meaning they're a fire sign, you're a fire sign. You know, you could have fire buried somewhere in your chart. It's not all about the sun sign. I don't know much about astrology, but I know that much. That's a sliver of it. That's a piece of the pie, is what that is. But these two, remember I said this is a good blend? This is the blend card. She yodeled, amazed at the synchronicity of this. And it's perhaps in the planning stage now, or en route. You know, it's a transition, it's a card of transition. Butterfly. And that business of crossing over whoever this is, isn't at the other shore yet. They're coming. Somebody's waiting for them. They're a good blend. And this is sort of like the landing place, Pentacles energy. And Seven of Pentacles is kind of like the growing place, the vineyard, the garden, the place where you cultivate through work, investment, attention. This individual's energy, which is sort of quickened by this Wands energy, and they're blended together, which allows for Six of Swords forward movement to a calmer place. I mean, you know, this is a calm place. Pentacles aren't frenetic. This is a little frenetic. But in the blend, everything's calmed down. We're moving, we're in the liminal space between something that was a Five of Swords, something troubling, something we didn't want to think about, or, it wasn't a comfortable mental state, sword energy. Moving on from that. Moving. There's a lot of movement here. And also a lot of grounding, landed, land-based energy. Complementary. Oh, rats. Trouble in paradise. I don't know if it's kind of dark in here today. Well, it's dark in here too. This guy is in a citadel, Four of Pentacles. This is like duck and cover. I grew up in the time of what was actually a little bit before my time, but where public school children were taught to dive under their desks. Not because there was a shooter, because there was a threat of atomic bomb. They told us to hide under our desks. This person is trying to protect themselves. They're holding down every pentacle. They're feeling very threatened. Well, I think that represents the physical state, the pentacles, the environmental energy that made somebody want to push off and go to the next place, the other shore, the good pentacle shore, the kind of environment this person would create. There was something really oppressive about this environment. And it might be, well, I'm not sure. Let's just keep going. Queen of Cups under Two of Cups. Moon under Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Swords. Is it 8 or 7? 7. 7 of Swords. That card of the sneak. Is it really 7? I have to peek. Yes, it is. We had that yesterday as well. It's a frequent visitor. This was sneaking past your own brain in the vice versa deck. It's a little bit the same thing, because this person is extricating through a gap. And it's almost like they become kind of vaporous, that they're able to pass through. Their bodies are able to extricate themselves from some kind of mental constraint. Moving forward from that. This is like using a thorn to remove a thorn. I think there's a saying about that. finding like a loophole almost in the mental construct. There's a loophole. So here we have an admittedly confusing situation to me, because this is over security, this is storm warning. This is like battening down the hatches, your own feeling so insecure, you batten down every single hatch and essentially put yourself in the tower. You're in the citadel, the hide place, the hiding place, under siege. So maybe this earth sign was protecting themselves, protecting their terrain. Independent, yes, but on some level insecure, or had been insecure. This is a card of like constriction, of clenching, of the tightening. And I think it has to do with the mindset that this person is extricating themselves from. Under Two of Cups, Queen of Cups. Somebody who's open to this Two of Cups relationship. She feels deeply. She'd risk giving her heart. And I think this is the same person. I think it's something like this character would open their heart, his or her heart, or their heart, to Two of Cups energy, despite their real kind of something happened, towery wise, that really triggered them, made them want to duck and cover. And I think they're thinking about it in a new way. Six of Swords to Seven of Swords. This is like sneaking out and jumping on the boat and making a getaway in the way you think about something. So here's this person predominantly in their water energy, their heart energy. Their water flows, their cup is open. She does look sad to me. But I think when your heart is open, you have to extricate from the mindset that everything's going to hurt. I need to protect myself, my independent self. I need to preserve that. Perhaps I've been under siege before, gotten out of it, moved out of it. That Six of Swords, the way it's on the table now, is Clarifying Moon, card of Cancer, a card of deep feelings, of that realm of deep feelings. Also a card of divine feminine energy, in that it's the receptive card, receiving the light, shining it back out again into the world. water sign, water sign. This individual is comfortable in this realm. They're in their feminine energy, moon, and comfortable with the cycles, with the coming and going, the waxing and waning, the light and the dark, high tide, low tide. And I think this is interesting, that the card that was revealed to go on, Nine of Pentacles, is Seven of Cups. That heart energy. You know, the energy of feelings, and deep feelings that rise up. I mean, they're beyond our control. They rise up from our unconscious. They're on the rise. They're on the move somehow. And there are so many options. So I think this single individual has many options, but she's looking toward this Two of Cups. I think she has one connection in mind, but maybe moving out of that idea that there's only one connection in mind, you know. Okay, I was trying to remember what I have to... It's so bizarre. Sometimes the Temperance, brilliant. Sometimes the Major Arcana card numbers just go out of my head. All these sevens, 3 sevens add up to, 2 sevens add up to 14. Temperance. 3 sevens to 21, which is World, the last card in the deck. So there's some major cycle closing out and a new one opening up. Opening up. Open arms, ready to receive. It's sort of the other half. The 2 cups and the Temperance here, the blend. The 2 cups and 2 of Cups. That connection. Also a card of divine timing. How long must we wait? As long as it takes. And it may have taken a very long time. But there's a quickening, Somebody's drawn in intuitively. And I think it's this Temperance person. Could be a Sag, not necessarily. But whatever it is, it's going to heal. Temperance is a card of healing. Heal the confusion, perhaps, of 7 of Cups. Heal the idea of being trapped or held back, held down. 4 of Pentacles. I mean, there's great forward movement. You know, in the way of thinking about things that I think taps more into this intuitive energy. Because there's something changing about the old way of thinking. There's a loophole. that allows for this forward movement. And a kind of courage, stamina, something like that, to go into this place. And there's something about the two in this realm. And one of them looks uncomfortable, looks afraid. And one of them looks pretty chill. So somebody may be apprehensive. But I think with that big cycle closing out in the implicit world card, all these sevens put together, and temperance, the blending of the cups. I mean, on balance, this is movement away from a fearful constriction, from confusion. And it's not like poof. Nothing in Pentacles energy is poof. It's slow growth. Growth in the right direction, you bet. You bet. Between heaven and earth, that bellows, the inexhaustible energy source. Use it. Pentacles are about using it in your life, in our lifetime, in this lifetime. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and I know that I always do this at the very end, but the idea of the storm, we're having a near miss. It's not going to cream us. At least that's what it looks like. Could change. Storms have a way of doing that. But it looks like a near miss. And I was thinking, that can either be a relief, or if the thing you were wanting for, you were waiting for, wanting and waiting, and it doesn't come. It almost came, but it was a near miss. Like it deflected at the last minute. I don't know. That's another way. It just struck me interesting that it can be relief, or like, oh, there it goes. I wanted to get my hands on that, and it's like, poof, it's gone. I don't think this is about poof, it's gone. I think it's about something about arrival, coming home. Coming home. Safe and sound, hearth and home. Cheerios.